Hi, I'm Heather Lockett, and this is Lasting Conversations. We're here with the good Dr. Jeffrey Stanger today. Hi, Dr. Jeff.
Hey, Heather. Great to be here.
Good to see you. Dr. Jeff is a highly sought after practitioner of chiropractic medicine. He is a 2-time cancer survivor, and he is a warrior in this life and is loving every minute of it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So we're talking full circle moments. So some of us who have lived a few decades or more have seen some things. We've lived through some things. Perhaps we've raised families. We've had careers. And things can feel like they have derailed us when actually they make us grow stronger. So welcome.
You know, Heather, that's very true. In my own instance, I started practicing chiropractic medicine back in the 80s and quickly became established in the community as a chiropractic rock star. I was able to bring a lot of patients to chiropractic and bring chiropractic to a lot of patients. And that changed one time on vacation in Anguilla. Everything was going great. Couldn't be better. Everything was rocking and rolling. And then I was in a hotel in Anguilla, and I was walking to the bathroom. Of course, at night I had no clothes on. I noticed a distension above my abs. I was in great shape. So any little bump you would see, I had a bump on my left side, which overlies the spleen, telling me that something was going on. So my energy levels, instead of being 100 plus, it was down to 70. So anyway, we came home. I went to my friend who was a PCP, primary care physician, and he did some blood work and said, well, you either have leukemia or AIDS. So I said, I'll take leukemia.
Wow.
Because at the time,
of course,
there was no treatment whatsoever for AIDS, and there was some breakthroughs on leukemia.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I went to get tested, bone marrow, biopsy, et cetera. Sure enough, I did have chronic myelogenous leukemia, known as CML. And I started my adventure to see where I could get a bone marrow transplant to help cure the condition. Turns out my sister was a match. And off I went to Seattle, Washington, where I underwent a bone marrow transplant. Survived that with difficulty. I had graft versus host issues, and but nonetheless, I made it through. And soon, after several months, was able to return back here to South Florida to resume my chiropractic career.
Well, that's fantastic. I know that Seattle has been groundbreaking, one of the many places that do bone marrow and other bloodborne disease types of transfusions and transplants and things.
Yes, Dr. Thomas, who isn't with us anymore, but he pioneered the CML bone marrow transplant that we know today.
And it's quite invasive and quite a journey in itself.
Yeah, yes, I was like on this side, the good side of the progress that was made in that particular specialty. They had just developed anti-rejection drugs, but compared to today's treatment, it was very crude.
Yeah.
It's amazing I'm still here.
Well, and that's actually just round one. Then right. You've had...
Then I recovered, went back. I learned gratitude in the interim, so I never forgot. Even though I returned to my former health status, I always kept myself in check by having that gratitude aspect I didn't have before. And my practice soon resumed and took off, expanded, went multi-specialty, medicine, chiropractic, and physical therapy. We expanded to 6 offices. And then in 2016, and I had a lesion on my tongue that I thought would go away. And I went to my dentist. He said, it doesn't look that good. You should go see a specialist, an oral surgeon specialist. He took a biopsy, and sure enough, I had tongue cancer, glossopharyngeal cancer. Once again, I found the right person. Her name was Dr. Liz Franzman from the University of Miami. And she did surgery excising that particular area. And I'm still here.
And you're still here. So you mentioned gratitude. So, and as a chiropractic practitioner, so much of our health and healing comes from the inside, as a matter of fact, and belief systems. And one of your favorite taglines or bumper stickers, if you will, is if you believe it, you can achieve it. Share some more about all of that.
Yes, if you conceive and believe, you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been one of my models I live by. I picture things happening and then use visualization techniques and other types of techniques like that to help bring about the fruition of my ideas.
Well, and while someone is in these journeys, if it's a health scare or could even be marriage or anything else, and sometimes we fall into scary times for ourselves. What would you say, while you were literally on a table or in a bed or not part of your day-to-day life, it was just between you and your maker, you and the doctors. Share some of that perspective for people who might be going through the same thing.
Yes.
Or have a loved one going through the same thing.
And we'll get to it at the end of this session.
Okay.
I want to extend myself to, and I'll give you contact information. Anybody that is currently going through something like this or similar,
Mm-hmm.
they're free to contact me because I can certainly help raise their morale and give them some hope.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, 2016, well, going back, 2016 turned out to be not a great year. I also found out that year that I had my tongue cancer, that a trusted individual in my organization was embezzling money from me.
Oh my goodness. That was the third thing. I knew that there were 3 doozies.
Right.
Yeah.
And turned out to be over 7 figures. So really wiped me out financially. So I had to start over. But I said, I could do this. And I never didn't believe that I could do it. Same thing going back to the first incident, even though the doctors were whispering that doesn't look good, you may not make it. I looked at myself in the mirror. I had horrible graft versus host disease. But something inside me said I never thought I wouldn't make it. And I guess that's why I'm still here.
Well, that's just beautiful. So full circle moments. So sometimes we can have, it feels more infinite, like the infinity sign is a circle that opens up. And so your infinite wisdom, your infinite joy and gratitude, where do you think that's come from?
I think God, because I can't point to one person who said, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
It's always been part of my nature. So I'm blessed that way. And as a matter of fact, one of my mottos and my screensaver is truly blessed.
That's wonderful. So you wanted to talk about some full circles. Go ahead and share.
So here I was in 2016, almost starting over again.
Yeah.
And it was tough because I was already in practice in 2016, probably 30, 35 years. So to start over at that point, after all the success that I enjoyed, was difficult. But in my mind, I had no choice. So I set about doing that. And I'm making progress towards returning to my former status.
Do you see retirement in your future, or is this career path something that you love and you enjoy seeing people?
I really enjoy the art of chiropractic. You touched on this earlier. Chiropractic helps the body heal itself by removing any interference,
Mm-hmm.
nerve interference. So a healthy body could cure itself. An unhealthy body can. And so in some instances, myself as a chiropractor is able to remove interference to the nervous system, which is the master system that controls all body functions, including your immune system.
Right. And how long has your career lasted, actually?
I'm closing in on 40 years.
Well, that's fantastic.
And to answer your question, I don't plan on retiring. For many reasons, one of which is I enjoy helping people feel better.
Wonderful, wonderful. In your 40 years, have you seen the actual practice of chiropractic change somehow? I'm thinking of in other traditional medicines and that there has been maybe new technologies or new ways of doing the practice, melding Eastern, Western medicines and other philosophies and modalities?
I would say, if anything, it's more the blending of the traditional medicine with chiropractic care, which is allopathic versus chiropractic. So we blend both, and I could speak from my own experience that they're both necessary. I wouldn't have made it through the bone marrow transplant without anti-rejection medications and various other medications. I had radiation, total body radiation, which is abbreviated as TBI. I also had chemotherapy, which was much different than it is presently. They've really refined it, so it's very specific to the disease you have and the area of the body it affects. So I've seen that in health. I've seen more practitioners in chiropractic join forces with other specialties to present a comprehensive package to the patient who needs it.
That's great. I've spoken to mental health practitioners and other people in the area of health and healing in their own way, and we always seem to circle back to the whole, WHOLE, the holistic practices that can really, I think you used the word refined, so you can sort of take a broader view and help someone refine what it is that's necessary for them, for their individual body, maybe even, their emotional state, their family, the other things that are going on in their life.
Absolutely. There's many components to health, and utilizing as many as possible gets you healthy quicker.
That's very true.
And keeps you healthy.
And keeps you healthy. So what brings you joy? Well, you just said helping people brings you joy. Do you meditate? Do you dance? Do you do what sparks?
I meditate, and I've mentioned this previously, but I use an acronym named SAVOR, and I try to do this in the morning and sometimes at night when I wake up and go to sleep. S stands for silence or meditation, where you get in touch with yourself, remove distractions. And then the A is for affirmations, V is for visualization, E is for exercise, which I do every day, R is for reading, and S is for, instead of saying journaling, which doesn't make a word, S for scribe or writing down your thoughts, makes it savors.
Savors. So we can savor each day.
Yes.
I love that. That's really a beautiful thing. What else is part of your daily practice?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I work out every morning. It's not only good for your body, but it really sets your the right frame of mind, right body tone for the rest of the day. I find that on the occasional, rare occasion that I don't work out, I'm just not as sharp as I am when I work out in the morning.
I think that's true. I was, this morning, I was going to go take a walk. And actually, I know a friend of mine that was going to do a nature walk. And then the skies decided to deluge. And I thought, well, okay, that doesn't mean that I still can't move and breathe and do something inside and maybe take that walk outside a little bit later. And what are your summer plans? Are you doing something for fun?
Well, we go back to Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island.
Beautiful.
Every summer. We have friends that live there. And it's one of our favorite places. So we have some plans to go there. And then we'll just wing it for the rest of the summer. And work.
Do you see people while you're away, or do you do phone conferencing, or you're still just very quite hands-on?
Mostly hands-on. On occasion when circumstances don't permit,
right,
we do some telemed.
Oh, telesummit. Okay.
So where we are able to supervise some rehabilitative exercises that the patient needs to regain their strength.
Okay. Do you have any tales from your practice? And in the course of 40 years, have you seen generations? Maybe you start with one person and now they've had kids or grandkids even.
Good point. I started practicing in Tamarack in the 80s and soon moved to Delray shortly thereafter. And I have seen parents, children, and in some instances, not that many, I'm not that old yet, but hope to be, grandchildren.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if you believe it and conceive it, you can achieve it. What else would you like to share about that?
Well, first of all, you have to believe it.
And how about for those who don't, or they're not quite there yet?
Right.
Maybe that will circle back to something that you wanted to end with or share more about for those who are in it, whatever their it might be.
Well, you really should, every idea, everything we have in this world, all technology, all products, everything that we use, it started with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So someone had to conceive it, and they were convinced they could achieve it because they believed it. And sure enough, they have. Just like these microphones we're talking on today.
Mm-hmm.
50 years ago, they didn't exist.
Certainly not in this style. That's true.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. Let alone, technology to go to space or cell phones or all these amazing technologies. And, do you foresee your own show in the making, as a matter of fact?
Well,
that you have something bubbling that you'd like to be sharing with the world?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I think that I could give back by helping people that are in crisis. And this is only my second podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to eventually have my own show where I can invite people who have been in need of somebody who's experienced a lot of what I have, so that I could give them some tips on how to get through the tough times.
That will be a beautiful. Do you have a title yet?
Not yet. I'm working on
it. Good. Well, I think we will all look forward to that. Is there one more little nugget that you'd like to lead us out with?
Well, one of my favorites is if quitters never win and winners never quit.
Okay. That is the cherry on top.
Exactly. I mean, it's so true. It goes back to conceive, believe, achieve. Mm-hmm. Because if you feel that you can't, if you have no faith, I'm a big faith person. And if you don't have faith in what you do, you'll never be able to achieve it.
That's very, very true. Dr. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on the show with us today. And I wish you well for all of your work ahead and your vacation and the show, the voice, the help that you're going to be able to provide.
Oh, and
yes, keep going.
No, I'm going to put it out there. People can reach me by cell phone.
Yes, I was just about to ask where to find you.
561-901-0600. And a little plug for my practices.
Yes.
I have 2 websites that are very user-friendly. One's called Stanger Injury Centers Plural.com. Mm-hmm. The other one's called StangerHealthcare.com. That's STANGER Healthcare.com and STANGER Injury Centers Plural.com.
Dr. Jeffrey Stanger, the world is bright with you in it. Thank you so, so much.
Heather, thanks for taking the time to conduct this session today. It was great.
Thanks so much. And thank you for listening, everybody. Please be sure to like, follow, review, and share this podcast. And if you'd like to be part of the conversation, send emails to podcasts@lastingconversations.com and follow us on Facebook. This is Lasting Conversations. We get to the heart of everything.